Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Carl T. Rowan. As the new director of the United States Information Agency, I have the privilege to present to you a dramatic document of man's continuing search for dignity. It is a film about the great Civil Rights March in Washington, a moving exercise of one of the most cherished rights in a free society, the right of peaceful protest. I believe that this demonstration of both whites and Negroes, supported by the federal government and by both President Johnson and the late President Kennedy, is a profound example of the procedures unfettered men use to broaden the horizons of freedom and deepen the meaning of personal liberty.
Freedom Now movement, hear me. We are requesting all citizens to move into Washington, to go by plane, by car, bus, any way that you can get there. Walk if necessary. We are pushing for jobs, housing, desegregated schools. This is an urgent request. Please join. Go to Washington.
Negroes want the same things that white citizens possess. All of their rights. They want no reservations. They want complete equality, social, economic, and political. And no force under the sun can stem and block and stop this civil rights revolution which is now underway.
Hold on, hold on, keep your eyes on the prize.
On August 28, 1963, 200,000 Americans came to Washington to demand complete freedom for everyone. This is the story of that day.
Your eyes on the prize. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on, hold on.
Well, if the FBI would investigate, then probably then we could integrate.
Yeah! Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on, hold on.
Well, we are all here, black and white, trying to fight for equal rights.
Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on, hold on.
They came from Los Angeles and San Francisco, or about the distance from Moscow to Bombay. They came from Cleveland, from Chicago, or about the distance from Buenos Aires to Rio de Janeiro. They came from Jackson, Mississippi, from Birmingham, Alabama, or about the distance from Johannesburg to Dar es Salaam. By the end of August 1963, in some places of the United States, a Negro could not go to school where he chose, eat where he wished, build his home where it pleased him, or find jobs for which he was qualified. He had been insulted, beaten, jailed, drenched with water, chased by dogs. But he was coming to Washington, he said, to swallow up hatred and love, to overcome violence by peaceful protest. Many people predicted violence. Negro groups trained themselves to overwhelm it. Armed with portable two-way radios, volunteers scattered throughout the march would keep watch. Should violence come then that day, they would call for help. Each man would have a code name. Freedom, equality, justice, jobs.
This is Freedom 2 to Equality 1. This is Freedom 2 to Equality 1.
The Constitution of the United States guarantees every American the right to protest peaceably. 200,000 Americans then were going to use this right. 350 years ago, the white man came to America. And 350 years ago, the Negro came to America. The one came as master, the other as slave. 100 years ago, Abraham Lincoln declared as President of the United States, that all slaves would henceforward be set free. Now, both black and white Americans were preparing to march to say that a century later, the black man still was not completely free. If I am not free, you are not free. If one man on earth is partly enslaved, the world is not completely free. It was every man's duty then to help every other man.
We need 4 people at table 8.
In New York, volunteers worked for 2 days and 2 nights to make lunches for the march. They made 80,000 cheese sandwiches.
We shall overcome.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
Okay, thank you. Get your buttons here from Martha Washington. Get your buttons here on Martha Washington. Do you have it?
The pen said, I march for jobs and freedom. Everyone who marched wore one. The 200,000 people who were to march that day were held together by the strength of that pen.
This morning, Father, we ask if thou would hear the prayers of thy children everywhere. Those who are burdened down because of conditions here in America, and those who are confused about how they should treat their fellow man. Oh God, we ask for those who have hatred in their heart to touch their hearts right now, oh Father, and somehow fill their hearts with love. And oh God, make this land in which we live be a land of plenty and a land of righteousness. Oh God, may we recognize this land a land of freedom for every race. Oh Father.
In my heart, we do believe we shall overcome someday.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Testing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is an audio test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the night, few people had arrived. Negro leaders feared that their work had failed. Those who did come waited singing.
Oh, deep in my heart, you know that I do believe. Oh, we shall overcome.
Let us hope. We are encouraged. We're not going to fight our white brethren with malice, nor are we going to fight them with any falsified stories, nor are we going to fight them with hatred, but we're going to fight them with love. When they hate us, we're going to absorb their hatred in love. When they speak against us, we're going to speak things of love toward them. We're not going to let their hatred turn us around, but we're going to love them on every side.
Oh, I do believe, oh, we shall overcome someday.
Shake hands with the person beside you.
Reverend, what about that trademark?
Do you want to be free? Yeah! Do you want to be free? Yeah!
All right, just pass them back. All right, I'll start on this side. All right, pass them down. You have any questions?
Wake up, girl.
Or anything that's bothering you, be sure you contact your captains for anything, and they will take it from there. Do not try to do anything on your own, because the minute you do, you will be upsetting the purpose of this march. The whole thing is an orderly, conducted march.
Look, there's Mary. There's Mary.